There we go. Okay, I think I have everything here for the most part. Shit. Okay. All right, y'all. So I'm going to be talking about some of the challenges of living abroad. So I've been talking about living abroad for some time now. So y'all can see my laundry hanging up in the back, but I'm like, whatever. Y'all ain't judging me. Anyway, I'm just going to talk about some of the struggles of living abroad. So my husband and I have been living abroad now for like 6 weeks. We left the United States on February 4th. So it's been, I don't know. Well, I'll let you do the math. A little bit less than 2 months. And so I have posted some about the journey. I'll be honest. I'm behind. Like, I'm gonna just be honest with y'all, which is funny because like that kind of is going to go into like some of the struggles that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. But like, I'm not really like behind, but like I was doing really good. I'm trying to get this fucking ring light, y'all. At one point I was doing really good with posting like living abroad updates for y'all. And then like life just got crazy and like, it's challenging, like moving around and trying to be present and trying to be like a content creator and trying to keep up with so much stuff. Like, we spent February in Brazil. We've been in Vietnam since March. Y'all, this ring light is going to piss me off. I figured it out, like, the first time I did it, and, like, now I cannot figure out how to do it anymore. Hey, y'all, welcome. Thank you for the likes. Please keep double tapping. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to figure out my ring light situation. Over here, I'm like, is there nothing I can attach this? I'm trying to attach my ring light to my phone, which I promise you it worked for me once. I just can't remember how I did it. Maybe if I shift the weight back, we'll see. So, anywho, yeah, so like at one point I was doing really good. I was like, day 5, day 7, living abroad update, blah, blah, blah. And then like, I haven't given an update. I literally haven't even given an update since I've been in Vietnam. And y'all, why is my screen dark? Hold on, y'all. Yeah. Sorry, tech things. I have not given a living abroad update since I've been in Vietnam. Y'all, we've been in Vietnam for like almost like 2.5 weeks. So like it's been some time. And like, I try not to like judge myself about it because I'm like, you know what, Bianca, like content is a lot to keep up with. And whether you are like a content creator or maybe you're not a content creator because like it can be a lot of work. And yeah, so what I've decided that I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start focusing more on going live and then just downloading these videos and cutting them up later because like y'all have so much content. I have so much stuff from Brazil that I haven't even shared. And we left Brazil 2.5 weeks ago. So like, that's why like, I feel like I'm very behind, but like, I'm just being honest with y'all. And I know a lot of people ask me about living abroad and like, I want to give y'all more. I'm trying to actually partner with somebody who has been living abroad a lot longer than me to get to actually have like a resource for y'all. Cause a lot of people like y'all, I had no idea how many people wanted to leave the United States. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but I had no idea. And like now I get so many questions. I always get so much traction when I talk about living abroad and I want to be able to have something for y'all. And that is something that I'm working on. But like life is crazy. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Like, and for somebody like me who's like in general, I'm very like routine driven. It's been challenging to try to keep up with like regular everyday adulting stuff on top of like being in another country. And like some people, whenever they live abroad, or I should say a lot of people when they live abroad, they move to like a place and they set up shop and they stay there. But me and my husband, we're not there yet. Like we are still like moving around. Like we're going to different countries, seeing like where we like it, etc. And like 4 weeks may sound like a long time, y'all, but I promise you 4 weeks in a country goes by fast as hell. Like you would think like, oh, I'm going to be here for so long. Like I'm telling you, like it goes by really, really quickly. So anywho, let me stop doing all this ranting. Because I actually did make a list of some of the specific struggles that I want to talk about. And like I said, I'm going to end up cutting up this live. So I'm going to just keep saying like, oh, one struggle that I've been having while living abroad, etc. I'm going to kind of put that at the beginning because whenever I'm going to cut up this video, that's how I'm going to separate them. But obviously, ask me any questions y'all have. Again, thank y'all for joining. I'm still in Vietnam. I'm in Vietnam right now. It's 1:41 p.m. But if you're joining, let me know where are you joining from. Like, what part of the world are you in and what time is it? If you're in the States, I'm assuming it's like super late, like almost 3 a.m., maybe midnight, depending on if you're East Coast or West Coast. But it is like almost 2 in the afternoon here in Vietnam. I got out of bed at like 11, which is like wild for me because at home I can barely sleep until like 7 a.m. and here I can't even get up any earlier than 11 a.m. It's just the time zone. I didn't even write that down, but getting used to the Asia time zone is a whole other thing, especially if you're working at night. Y'all, anybody who works overnight, God bless you, because I'm like, fuck this. Okay, anyway, let's get into it. So, one of the things that has, well, no, let me kind of rewind it back. So, some of the challenges of living abroad. Yes, there are a lot of amazing things about living abroad, and I feel super grateful, super excited that me and my husband decided to really take that plunge and leave the United States. But there are some things that are a struggle and have been a struggle for us, and there's been a lot of lessons learned in these first several weeks. So, and thank y'all again for joining. Thank y'all please double tap this live and share this live. I appreciate it. So I'm gonna start with like the first thing, which is, this is my third. I'm supposed to be taking my hair out as I'm doing this. Let me like stay focused. Get some coconut oil on these fingers. Y'all, I've been sick. I don't know if you can tell. I actually sound a lot better today than I did yesterday. This is my third time being sick in like 6 weeks. Y'all, at home, I might get sick. When I say home, I'm talking about the United States. I might get sick 3 times a year, maybe. Like I'm not someone who just like gets sick. Like I have like allergies, but I don't really get sick. This is my third time being sick since we have left the United States. It is so fucking tedious. It's annoying. Like yesterday we went to, they have this, I'm a really big Harry Potter fan. Look at me wearing my Alohomora shirt. I'm a host on a Harry Potter podcast called Alohomora. But anyway, so yesterday we went to this like Harry Potter store, and then it wasn't what I wanted it to be, because I'm literally like running to the bathroom to blow my nose every 5 seconds. I literally have to keep tissues on me right now because like I'm literally not trying to be gross. I promise you, at any given moment, it's like snot will just fall out of my nose. Like, I mean, me and my husband were laughing because we're like, it's a good thing we've known each other for this long, because at this point we're just like, it is what the fuck it is. But like it's crazy. And when I say mucus, I mean mucus. And a big part of that has been because of like weather changes. So first we came from North Carolina in like dead winter. And don't get me wrong, North Carolina isn't a super cold place, but we still have a winter. So we left from North Carolina. We went to Brazil in February. February is the middle of the summer for Brazil. So we literally left the middle of winter for the middle of summer, which of course, was nice to, be able to dodge the winter. But I got sick. Like the second day we were in Brazil, like I had like my throat was hurting. I had so much mucus. Like it was terrible. Whatever. I got over it. I had like a cough. It was really annoying, but whatever. We got through it. So then whenever we left from Brazil, we ended up traveling through Spain. So mind you, we've been in Brazil for like, I don't know, 4 weeks. Almost 4 weeks. And then we are now headed to Asia. It took us 3 days to get here. We're currently in Vietnam for y'all who are just now joining. Don't forget to tell me where y'all are joining from, because I want to know. Like, I'm in Vietnam. It's almost 2 p.m. here, but where are y'all joining from? What time is it where you are? And please double tap this live. Please share this live. I appreciate it. But anywho, so we go through Spain, and I don't know why, but for whatever reason, we get this like cold, wet, rainy day in Spain, and we did a tuk-tuk tour. So now we've come from Brazil, where it's like blazing hot, humid as shit, hey Seattle, middle of the summer, and then we go to Spain, and it's cold. And I already knew, I'm telling you, like my body it just really does not fuck with like those kind of like dramatic weather changes. So I had a feeling it was going to happen, and it did. Now, whenever I got sick from being in Spain, luckily it wasn't that bad. It was only just like a couple of days. And then we got to Vietnam, and it actually was cooler here than I anticipated, which was actually kind of nice coming from Brazil, because like Brazil, like it was literally so hot in Brazil that you couldn't even walk around during the daytime. And like, if you are a traveler, then you know that you can really appreciate being somewhere that is like very walkable for multiple reasons. So to come from to get to Hanoi is the name of the city that we're in Vietnam. So to come here and the weather be a little bit cooler, like I said, it was nice, but I had no idea how much air pollution was here in Vietnam. So then it was like coming off of like being kind of sick from like the weather in Spain, going from hot to cold to warm. Then on top of that, my body was like, what the fuck is this? So now I have like all this mucus again, and like it was more of like it wasn't as much as like a cold sick, but it was more like it was almost more like a head cold. Like it was more like congestion, which is also what I have right now too, which I'll get to. It was more like congestion. And then it was more like a kind of like a light headache up here. So then I was trying to like adjust to the air pollution here. And then well, let me back up. As far as like the air pollution, so I did buy some masks, and like most of the time if I'm going to be outside for a while, like I will put on a mask, which a lot of people do here. So cool, whatever. My body had gotten kind of used to the air pollution. I've been taking like some medicine, and I kind of figure out like how to make that work for me. Then the other day we were out walking, and I ended up going live for like an hour and a half, and like I really enjoyed it. Like I love going live. I love showing you guys Vietnam. You know, make sure you hit that follow button if you do want to, you know, get some live living abroad thing like you're getting right now. But anyway, I'm talking about when I'm actually like out and about. Hey y'all, thank you for joining. Welcome. We're just talking about some of the challenges that have been going on while me and my husband have been living abroad. Please don't forget to double tap this live and share this live if you find it valuable. Where was I? Oh yeah, air pollution. So anyway, so I go live the other day for 90 minutes. We're walking around, you know, I'm doing all this laughing, talking, whatever. Y'all, I woke up the next morning, when I say congested as hell, and this was yesterday. So here I am for like the third time sick in like 6 weeks. And like I said, it's just tedious. Like I'm so impressed with myself, y'all, that I can even that I've been on this live this long and I haven't had to like stop and blow my nose, which is a good thing because it means like it's getting better. But like when I say right now, I got like mucus on mucus on mucus. I don't even want to go anywhere. I didn't even want to go out to eat last night because I was like, I don't want to be anywhere because I literally need to blow my nose like every 5 seconds. Like so congested, like I literally can't breathe from either of my nostrils. So like that's something that has been really annoying. Anyway, I feel like I'm like harping on the sick thing too long and I got more things to talk about. So that has been one of the challenges of living abroad is being sick. Like, and I know that my immunity is, my immune system is actually getting a lot better, which is great. But, you know, in the moment, you're not necessarily thinking about that when you're feeling like crap, right? Like, obviously feeling good is like what we all want. I don't know where this twist out is going. Oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and talk about, I actually had this last one. I'm gonna talk about it next now since I'm doing my hair. So obviously I'm Black. And it's not that there are not any Black people in Vietnam. I've actually been kind of surprised at the amount of Black people I've seen here. Like I've been like, oh, I wasn't expecting to see this many. I think more Africans than African Americans. But if y'all could have seen me searching for hair products. So another like a challenge that I've had living abroad is my hair. Like being a Black woman and being somewhere where like it's not super easy to get to hair products. And I know some of you might be thinking like, oh, why wouldn't you just pack your hair products? And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But like, listen, if you Black and you natural, you know our products be coming in like fucking tubs. Like, and I literally just I couldn't afford that space in our luggage. We were already over on our luggage. Like we already had to pay extra for our suitcase being over. So like I was like, I'll just buy hair products there. And that actually is like a really good packing tip. It's like try to focus on things that you can't buy whenever you are there. Now, looking back, would I have bought some products in Brazil? Probably, yes. But spilled milk at this point. But that is another thing that's been a challenge. Like, y'all, I am still considering learning how to braid my own hair. And if you know me personally, you know for somebody like me to even say that is wild. Because I am an outsourcer. I am not a DIYer. That is not my personality. But it's literally to the point where like I'm wondering if it'll be easier for me to just learn how to braid my own hair versus trying to like find hair products versus trying to figure out who can do my hair, because like braids are just so easy, right? Like once my hair is braided, they're in a protective style and I don't have to worry about trying to do it every day. I actually have a video on this page if you go look where I have like my like big cute fro from like 2-strand twist, and then I'm like what I expected to be walking around Vietnam looking like versus what I've really been looking like. Like the humidity has just been like I just been rocking a little baby fro because like I can't fight the humidity. Like it just kind of is what it is. So my hair has been another challenge, and we are going to Bali next weekend, and then we're going to be in Thailand. There are a lot more Black people there. So again, I'm going back and forth. Like part of me is like, well, Bianca, you could probably get your hair done you know, in Bali or Thailand. But another part of me is like, you could just learn to do it yourself. And I don't know, being living abroad, that's another beautiful thing about travel. It's like, I feel like you do find out so much stuff about yourself, and you are a lot more inspired to like get out of your comfort zone and to, hey Rhonda, thank you for the hearts, I appreciate it. You are more inspired to get out of your comfort zone and to like try different things. And because like as a content creator, as someone who's been in the digital marketing entrepreneurship space for so long, I am so appreciative of being able to like do things that get me out from in front of a screen and to do more things with my hands. So like part of me kind of feels like it could be cool. I might love it, I might hate it. Remember, I was telling y'all I'm impressed I haven't had to blow my nose. I need to blow my nose. Please excuse me. Please don't judge me, y'all. This is live here. And whenever I cut this up, they're not gonna get that part, but y'all did. So anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, braiding my hair. So right now, that's kind of up in the air. Like I said, we leave. I can't even believe we leave next weekend. Like, it didn't hit us until 2 days ago that this weekend is our last full weekend in Vietnam. Like, we were like, what the fuck? Like, I think we thought we were leaving like next Sunday or Monday, but we leave like next Saturday. I'm like, I'm telling you, 4 weeks is long and short. Like, so anywho, my hair has been another challenge in terms of living abroad. And so I'm just trying to figure out what that looks like. Also, I'm not one of those women who knows how to do a wash and go. And I actually don't know if this is the country to experiment in. I'm the same allergies and can't do my own hair. I would pack wigs. Girl, I have not figured out a good wig situation. I think what I need is a curly wig, because my problem is, like, I be seeing the amount of work people be doing with their wigs, and I'm like, what the hell is the point of a wig if I gotta do that much work? Like, I need the kind of wig that I can truly like put on my head and then take off. And then my other problem is like how my hair looks under a wig. So I feel like I'm the kind of person where, like, if I do find that one bomb ass wig, like, I'm gonna end up getting so lazy that like I'ma literally just be walking around looking like Celie like all the fucking time. And I'm like, I ain't trying to have my husband side-eyeing me, like, so this how you go look. And listen, y'all, my husband has seen it all. Like, he don't really care. But I'm just saying, even, like, for me, that's, like, my only other thing with the wig is I'm, like, if I could figure out maybe, like, a big curly wig where I could just do, like, 2 braids that are easy to take out. But I don't want to, like, cornrow my whole hair, because I feel like I'm going to end up walking around in those cornrows for, like, 3 weeks. Stay away from lace fronts for that reason. Yeah, so, I mean, look, finding me a good wig, it's on my list. But we'll see what happens. All right, let me move on to the next thing. So, challenges of living abroad. My husband and I have been living abroad for a little bit less than 2 months now, and we've had so many incredible experiences, met so many amazing people, but there have also been some challenges. And one of those challenges is being healthy. And fun fact, I actually have another page. It's called @TheBiancaLynch. And like right now I talk about passive income, but if you like scroll, you will see that page actually used to be a healthy lifestyle page. So like living a healthy lifestyle is something that is extremely important to me for like multiple reasons. And I've actually given a lot of tips on like how to be healthy while traveling, etc. Because I'm not new to traveling. How many push-ups have you done so far today? 0. The fuck? God, I gotta stop. See, this is my problem. I always lose my train of thought whenever like I read a comment or like if I change subjects. But oh yeah, the healthy thing. So yeah, I've talked a lot about like how to be healthy while traveling. My husband is like a personal trainer. Fun fact. Now, the really nice thing is being out of the United States, it's a lot easier to eat foods that are not processed, because a lot of the food in the US is shit. That's one of the reasons we wanted to leave, because I was like, why are we paying all this money? We're like, you pay more money for these expensive ass foods that are killing us. But that's another live. That's not today. So anyways, as far as like being healthy, so in Brazil, it was just not easy to eat vegetables, y'all. So they actually eat a lot of fried foods in Brazil. And it's not to say they don't eat other things, but like the group I was traveling with, a lot of the events we went to, a lot of the places, like they just ended up being places where like it wasn't super easy to get in vegetables. So what me and my husband did was we would make smoothies. So we would buy like spinach, pineapple, ginger, And like we would make smoothies and we would try to just go ahead and knock them out in the morning just to make sure we were starting our days off with fruits and vegetables. So like that was one thing that was challenging in Brazil. And then also like I'm a firm believer in like body movement is body movement. Like I used to be a gym rat, and I really love lifting weights, and I do love the gym. I used to be in the gym like 5 days a week, but like now I'm like, you do what you can, right? Like even like walking is amazing. So in Brazil, walking was hard because it was so fucking hot. Like you literally, like y'all, by 8 in the morning, it was already like 80 degrees outside. So it was really, it was hard to like walk in Brazil. And then in the building that we were in, there was a gym, but it was like, it was literally like the size of this fucking bedroom. Like it was small. There was like a treadmill, a bike, and not even like a bike you went. It was like a spin bike, which personally I absolutely hate those. There was a bench, and then there was like some dumbbells. And so literally, yeah, now that he married you, lazy, you got a lucky guy. What? Now that he married you, you lazy? I don't know. I'm not lazy and he's not lazy. We both still work out. But yeah, so we had like that really like small gym, which was, you know, it's better than nothing, but like it just wasn't as easy there. So here in Vietnam, it's actually a lot easier to get like vegetables. Like people here eat really healthy, which is like really, really nice. Like I said, it's really easy to eat vegetables. The food here is so fresh. It's just so like that has been easier. The working out thing has been a little bit more challenging in terms of the gym because the gym isn't close, but it's a lot easier to walk around here, which is nice. Y'all, I need to blow my nose again. Bear with me. Let me see if I can mute this. Oh my God, you saw how shiny that was. Let me get over here before literally like y'all see snot. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So, what was I talking about? Being healthy, the gym. Oh yeah. So, as far as like vegetables and stuff, it is a lot easier to do that here. And because it's cooler, we do walk a lot more. So I've really just been trying to focus more on like, you know, getting our steps in every day. And you know, and make sure that we're getting at least a serving of vegetables. And I try to do too. But like I said, here, like the food is so healthy and fresh. Like it's honestly, it is a lot easier. I need to wash my hair. This actually is not a bad twist out. It's just, I mean, it's just small. Like I miss my big fro. I'm not going to lie to you, but whatever. Anyways, so it's just, it has been challenging with just like moving around and like trying to figure out how to get into like a routine, because like whenever I was home, it was very simple. Okay, I go to the gym on these days. On these days I'm going to do yoga, or these I'm going to walk. But like when you're moving around so much and when you're traveling and there's just like a lot of stuff going on, like it can feel hard to keep those things balanced. So speaking of challenges when living abroad, another challenge that or let me actually run that back. As far as like challenging for living abroad, so I know some of y'all are still joining. Welcome, thank you for joining. I'm just talking about some of the challenges that my husband and I are, you know, having with living abroad, and like we're having an amazing time and there's a lot of amazing things happening at the same time. But there are things that have been challenging, and one of those things is just like being productive. I'm looking at my notes over here. It's just like being productive and like having like an actual routine. So at home, back in like North Carolina, where we moved here from, where we left the States from, I am a very, very routine driven person. And like I said, some people move abroad and they go to one country and they set up shop and, you know, etc. We are moving around for now. So when you're moving every 4 weeks, it's very hard to get into a routine. And a lot of times, by the time we get to like week 2 or 3, where you actually get to the routine, it's time to go to the next place. Like I said the other day, we were just like, holy shit, like we literally leave next Saturday. Like what the fuck? So that's another thing that has been challenging. And thankfully, I do have multiple streams of income, and a lot of those streams of income are passive. I actually have a passive income page at The Bianca Lynch where I talk about that. So thank God, like I do make money, you know, all day, every day, like in my sleep, because I have passive income stream set up. But it doesn't mean that I don't need to work. Like I still need to work. Like I said, whenever this live first started, whenever I was talking about, I need to get some water. Like whenever I was talking about just like feeling like behind, and how like even like with creating content and stuff, like we've been in Vietnam for a couple of weeks. I still have stuff I haven't uploaded from Brazil, and we're leaving like we're literally moving on. I haven't posted shit about Spain. Like it's just, so like there's like the content piece, there's just like admin stuff. So finding a balance and like a work schedule, especially in this time zone, has also been challenging. Like I'm really excited to be like going live now and to be doing more live videos. But at the same time, to be honest with you, in the back of my mind, I'm always like, Bianca, you're always going live in Asia time zone. Like people back, like so many people are not going to see your lives because they're asleep. And that's just something that I just kind of have to accept, because I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to wake up. I'm not gonna go live at 2 or 3 in the morning here, even though sometimes I am awake. But also like the place that me and my husband are staying in, I'm like right now going live, it's not a big deal. It's 2:00 in the afternoon, but like we have a 2-bedroom, and so this is the 2nd bedroom, but the other one is right next door. So if I were to try to go live, my options would be to either literally be talking like this, and like y'all probably wouldn't be able to hear me, and also that's just not my personality. I'm not a quiet person. Or I would wake up my husband. Like I can't be talking like this and my man is asleep right in the next room, because obviously it's like, you know, 2, 3 in the morning. So like even like things like that have been a little bit challenging. I told my mom she would have to wake up now to see other countries. Like, yeah, like, I mean, obviously there are still people awake all over the world. I recognize that. But like I said, I do also recognize that, you know, Bianca, like if I were in the States, I would never see this live, because I know my ass would be asleep. When I was living in North Carolina, I could barely stay awake past like 9:30 p.m. So I know that I would still be asleep if I were home. So I think that's something else that has been kind of challenging, is like finding a routine, finding ways to be productive. Me and my husband, like in Brazil, we were apart a little bit more because of like where we were staying. It was kind of easier to like move around. But here, you're either like here in the apartment or like you're gone. Like there's not really like a lot of wiggle room. So also, I mean, I can create content in front of my husband, like he doesn't care. But like as a content creator, I'm used to creating content by myself. So that's also been something else for me. Like I've had to get used to creating content in front of people. He's probably out there right now. He can probably hear me. Mel, are you here? Okay, maybe he's not. But anyway, like I said, he doesn't care. It's probably like a me thing. But at the end of the day, like it is a challenge that like I am having to overcome. There are a lot of things in my business that could have, I'm not going to say should have, I try to not should all the time, but there are a lot of things in my business that could have been done by now, and they would have been done if I were still home, but they're not, because I'm here, like because we're moving around and because it's been harder to get into a routine. I'm kind of bouncing around on this list. And so this actually kind of aligns with like the next challenge. So, thank y'all for joining. Welcome. Me and my husband have been living abroad for a little bit less than 2 months now, and it's been amazing. We're super excited, super grateful for all the things, but there have also been some challenges. And one of those challenges is the balance of exploring and going out and, you know, FOMO, and also living your regular life. So if you go on vacation, most of the time you're not thinking about regular like adulting shit. You're like, I'm on vacation, I'm doing what I want, I'm drinking mimosas every day. But when you're living abroad, you still are responsible. You're living. Like this is our life now, right? Like we're still doing like dishes and laundry and cooking, and like we still have all of our adulting responsibilities. Thank y'all for the hearts. Please keep double tapping. Please keep them coming. I really appreciate it. So we're still doing all of these things, and like I said, I think it is a little bit different if you are someone who moved abroad and you went to one place and you just settled down. But because we are moving around, like because we're like moving around, that also means that like there is a lot more FOMO, right? Like staying somewhere. Thank you, Rhonda. Like staying somewhere where after you've been there for the first like, month or two or whatever, you're a little bit more used to it. Like you feel like you have more time. When you're in a country, imagine somebody visiting the United States for a month. Imagine trying to tell somebody how they could see the best of the US for a month. What do you like honestly, where are you gonna tell them to go? Let's say north, south, east, west. North, okay, New York, south, Florida, maybe Atlanta, New Orleans, west, Cali, east. Where would you tell people to go in the east? Where would I tell people going to East? I feel like as somebody from North Carolina, I should have said North Carolina, and I literally didn't. Arguably, New York is it doesn't matter. My point is, again, 4 weeks is long and short. So whenever we come to a new country, like even now, like we've been in Vietnam for a couple of weeks, and like, yes, I still need to be doing my hair. And like, yes, we've done some stuff, but like, there's a lot that we haven't seen. And then we have people in our ear who are like, you need to see the South of Vietnam. And they have people like, oh, you have to go. Excuse me. Remember, y'all, I'm sick. And then you have that. Look, that was the struggle number one. And then you have people like, oh, you have to go here. You need to see that. Like, there's a lot of FOMO. So, like, trying to balance, like, FOMO and JOMO. And we're actually traveling with a company called Remote Year. I have some videos on Remote Year. I highly recommend them if you want to get a little taste of living abroad. Because you can literally go live abroad for, like, a month and see how you like it. And all you got to do is show up and they take care of everything else. But even if you are, train of thought gone again. Jesus. JOMO, FOMO. Yeah, so you also have these people, right? You're in like a group chat. These people are like, oh, I'm going here. I'm doing this weekend. And so you're literally trying to balance this mindset of I'm in a new place. I want to experience as much as I can. And hey, yes, that's great. But you also are an adult who has responsibilities and you need to be taking care of those responsibilities. So that has also been another challenge. And I don't know how long y'all have been joining. I actually have, so my ring light actually covers up the number of people who are in the live. And what I've discovered is like, I really like that because it just makes me a lot less like self-conscious and I'm a lot more like out of my head when I don't have to see the number. But, I don't know how long any of y'all have been in here, but like I've been talking about challenges that I've been having while living abroad. But I just want to say like, no matter what you do in life, there's going to be advantages and disadvantages. Like I truly believe in like choose your hard, right? Like we could still be in the US and we could be like in a routine, but we would also be like fucking slaving away every day, staring at screens, working our lives away, not having these incredible experiences, right? So I'm talking about the challenges because I want to be honest and transparent with y'all. Like living abroad is amazing, but like everything else, it does come with challenges. But overall, like we have zero regrets. I feel like I just need to drop that in here. So, okay, moving on to the next one. That one I already talked about. So there's really only two more. So if you are just now joining, welcome. We are talking about some of the challenges of living abroad. My husband and I have been living abroad for a little bit less than 2 months now, and it has been very amazing, very rewarding, very gratifying. We're having an amazing time. And at the same time, there are also some challenges, and one of those challenges is keeping up with home life. So first of all, we are in Vietnam. So we are literally... It was a 12-hour time zone difference. Now it's 11, which is really fucking annoying because you'd be surprised at how much that 1 hour will throw off the math in your head. But anyways, so we are in Vietnam. So like we're literally flipped. So I know a lot of y'all, like you might be, I don't know like what time you're watching this video, but time zone enough is like makes it harder to keep up with, your side of the world. But even in Brazil, y'all, like even without the time zone, like trying to keep up with what's going on at home in terms of like making sure I'm still calling my mom, making sure I'm staying in touch with my friends, like even that has been a challenge. Like, and I'll be honest with y'all, like sometimes whenever I do have moments where I'm like, oh, it's a good time to call somebody and catch up, y'all, sometimes I don't even want to because either I'm tired and I'm just like happy to be, thank you, Rhonda. Even though, because sometimes like I'm tired and I'm just like happy to be in a place where I can just like fucking relax. And sometimes I don't feel like catching up with people. I literally told somebody last night, I was like, right now would be a great time for me to call some of my friends and catch up, but I literally don't want to because I already know what's going to happen. They're going to be like, how is Vietnam? What do you like about it? Sometimes, y'all, I don't want to fucking talk about my life. And I don't mean to sound like I'm being ungrateful, and I don't mean to sound like I realize like that's like a first world problem, right? I get that, but I'm just being honest. Ooh, yeah, I got to blow my nose again. Hold on. Let me get some water where I'm at. I'll be right back. I really thought my husband was gonna be back by now. He really not. So, anywho, I was literally just telling a friend last night, and this is something that y'all know, just like in the adulting world, some things you just have to kind of like just like come to terms with. And one thing that has been challenging for me in the adulting world in general is that, oh my God, I need to wash my hair. Good God, these roots. One thing that has been challenging for me in general in the adulting world of friendships is that, like, you remember when you were like back in the day, whether it was, I don't know, middle school, high school, college, what the fuck ever, with your friends, you just got together and you would just shoot the shit. You just talked about nothing. Like, it was just, you were just so present. Like, you were just having fun conversations about what the fuck ever. Like, now that, so I'm 31, I turned 31 in October, and like, what I've come to realize is, like, I miss those friendships. And it's not like I don't love the friends that I have now. And it's not even about the friends. It's just more so about the fact that as an adult, what I've realized is so much of my conversation with my friends are catching up. Like, back in the day, you would just call your friend and be like, what you doing? And like, or you would just go over to their house and just hang out and you would just talk. But because, like, as an adult, people are busy and people have so many other things going on. Everything is a fucking catching up on your life. Let me tell you what happened. How have you been? Like, y'all, I'm to the point, I don't even want people to ask me how I've been anymore. Like, I just want to talk to people. And so, like, last night was a really great example of, like, I was like, okay, Bianca, it's actually a reasonable time in the US. You can call somebody and you can talk to them. And I literally chose not to. Instead, I listened to an audiobook because I was like, I don't feel like catching up. I don't feel like asking nobody what's going on in their life. I don't feel like getting any updates. I don't feel like giving updates. And it's sad because it doesn't mean I don't want to talk to my people, but I also don't know how to call somebody and be like, hey, girl, how you doing? Oh, no, but don't ask me how I'm doing. I don't want to talk about, you know what I mean? So I think that's something else that has been challenging on top of just like, because there is like always so much stuff going on here, just remembering, Bianca, you need to call your fucking mom. Hey, Bianca, you need to check in on this person. Hey, Bianca, I know that you're living abroad, but you have, you know, this group of friends back home who is going through this. Like, I have two really good friends of mine. Like, they recently just like lost their uncle like suddenly. And so, you know, obviously, like, if I'm home, it's a little bit easier to remember those things. But like, when you are on the other side of the fucking planet, like, you also, you still carry that responsibility of being a good friend, a good sister, a good aunt, a good niece. Like, I mean, I just like texted my 9-year-old niece the other day and I was just like, hey, London, love you. Because like, I'm literally at the point where I'm like, Bianca, even if you can't like always pick up the phone, you can even just send a quick text message and be like, thinking of you. Hey, hope you're doing well. Love you. Just to let people know that like, hey, like, yes, I'm over here, but I still care about you. I still love you, etc. So that has been another challenge of living abroad. And it's something that we are still managing. So my husband and I actually have, we actually have a group chat with like our parents and then like a couple of our aunts as well, where like we'll drop like photos in there. And like, y'all, there was a week we completely just fell off the map. There was like a whole week we didn't share anything. And it's so funny because this aunt dropped in the chat and was like, your silence is too loud or something like that. And like, we were like, oh shit, we need to make sure that we're updating people. And y'all, let's be honest. Let's just be honest. This isn't just with travel. This is with anything. You have people in your life who are going to be really supportive and really excited about what you're doing. And you have other people where that might not be the case. And so there's also finding that balance between sharing, updating, but not like oversharing, right? Like, there are going to be people who really are like, I want to hear everything. Tell me everything about Vietnam. And then there are people who are like, oh yeah, so how's it going? And you know, they really don't give a fuck. They don't. Like, they're haters and, you know, and whatever. That could be a whole other video too. But like, that's another thing is also like, you have all these people in your life. Take a shot for every time I say the word like. Jesus. Anyways, you have all these people in your life. And while you are living abroad and you're having these amazing experiences, you do also still have these people who you love and who you care about and who love you and care about you, and you still have to navigate those relationships while you're out and about and doing, you know, whatever. You know, I'm calling my mom and I'm over here like, oh yeah, I rode on the back of a motorcycle today, and she's over here telling me about how she won at bingo. Like, it's two completely different worlds, but like my mom isn't any less important just because I'm over here. So that's been a challenge, but you know, we're navigating it. And then I think I did talk about it. Yeah, so I only have one more. So welcome. If you're just now joining, we are talking about living abroad. So my husband and I have been living abroad for a little bit less than 2 months now, and it's been amazing. We're so excited. We're so grateful. We've had some incredible experiences. We've met some incredible people, and at the same time we have also had some challenges. And one of those challenges that we have had is unexpected expenses. Woo! Y'all, let's talk about money, honey. Ooh, that sounded kind of good. Or did it not? I probably think that because like I'm so congested up here. It sounded nasally and I'm like, it sounded good. It probably didn't sound good. Anyway, so unexpected expenses. If you are following me, and if you're not, then what you doing? No, but for real, I have a video on my page where I talked about one of the reasons why we left the United States was to not even, well, I guess you could say to save money, but I need a sip of water. It's less about like saving money, excuse me, because we're not necessarily like saving money for something in particular. But it's more so, I'm looking, there's a mirror behind the phone if you see me looking like that. It's less about saving money and more about just like being somewhere where it's actually affordable to live for the people who live there. And obviously, you know, you come somewhere like here, it's extremely affordable if you're making U.S. money, because the U.S. dollar is like worth so much more than the money here in Vietnam. Listen, budget travel destination, Vietnam. We've been eating breakfast for like less than $2 per person. Our most expensive meal is like $25 for both of us. So just a little nugget for you there if you feel like you can't afford to travel. There are many affordable destinations where you can really, really stretch your dollar. And I do have a masterclass on how you can keep your entire trip under $1,000. Let me do that quick plug. But anyway, yeah, so like unexpected expenses. So like one of the reasons we decided to leave the United States is to be somewhere that is more affordable. And when I tell you, we have learned so many things in this first month in terms of, well, I mean, money. Like, and I'll talk about a few of them. So I think like and some of these will kind of tie into some of the lessons that I talked about earlier. But one thing is going back to FOMO. Like, we spent way more money in Brazil than we anticipated because of FOMO. Now, we absolutely loved the group of people that we were traveling with in Brazil. Like, it was an amazing group of people. But at the same time, like, those motherfuckers were active. They were always doing shit, always going out to dinners. And like, we realized like, babe, even in North Carolina, this is like a conversation between me and my husband. We're like, babe, even in North Carolina, we wouldn't be going out 3, 4, 5 nights a week, spending $30, $40, $50, $60 on meals. Like, that shit adds up quickly. So that alone was something that was very humbling for us. And also recognizing that, you know, and then this was also us traveling with remote year. So us recognizing that, Bianca, everyone's on their own journey. Some people are only coming here for a month and they're going back home. So it makes a lot more sense for them to be out here like, I'm balling out, I'm doing, you know, whatever. But it's like, y'all about to be abroad for a minute. Like, this is not sustainable. So that was something that we learned whenever we were traveling in Brazil. Like, the whole point of us like leaving the United States to be somewhere more affordable was to live like locals. Like, bitch, you out here just living like Americans. Like, we're around a bunch of Americans, so we're still like going out, you know, spending all this money. And so we had to recognize like, bruh, like, listen, we are very much like abundance mindset. The money comes from everywhere. Like, I'm not the kind of person that's gonna restrict myself. I'm gonna just be real honest with you. Like, I'm not the friend that's gonna talk you out of spending money. I'm gonna just be real with you. However, we did recognize that, okay, so yeah, like, it's not a big deal if we go out to dinner, you know, we, you know, get some drinks or whatever, we spend this much money, but this is not something we need to be doing 5 nights a week for multiple reasons. So that was one thing in terms of money. Another thing Unexpected travel expenses. Ooh, y'all. Would y'all believe me if I told y'all that in Spain, I don't even want to say this shit. Like, this is like one of those things where you just want to put it behind you, because every time you think about it, you get really pissed off, but you just don't even want to be in that energy. Y'all, guess how much money we paid to check 2 bags in Spain? So we left from Brazil, and then I told you it took us 3 days to get from Brazil to Asia. So we went to Spain first, and then we went to Abu Dhabi, and then Thailand. Y'all, just guess how much money we spent to check 2 bags from our flight from Spain to, well, it was technically Spain, Abu Dhabi, Thailand. So let's say Spain. So let's say it had a layover. 2 bags, y'all. Again, like, I'm gonna keep this brief, because like I don't even really want to have to relive it, but I'm gonna tell y'all, because again, this is also like me trying to be honest with you. Like, I've traveled a lot, been to 22 different countries, and I have a lot of travel tips on this page, and I am still learning. Y'all, in Madrid, we paid $600 to check 2 bags. And you know what's even worse than that $600 is the fact that the guy at the counter was such an asshole to us. I'm not even going to go into all the details, because at the end of the day, it's like it doesn't even matter. The short of it is that, for whatever reason, whenever we flew from Rio in Brazil, for whatever reason, like, they didn't charge us for our bags. We don't know what, we didn't even think about it. I just assumed y'all booked so many flights to that point. I didn't even think about it. I just assumed that we'd already paid, because most of the time we do already have our luggage paid for. So he just like came out of left field, like real aggressive. It was like a really horrible scenario. I have cheap stuff. I might have just threw my stuff away. Girl, he didn't even tell us it was because it was overweight. Like, he was just, anyway, like I said, I'm not going to dwell on it, but we spent $600 just on that. So that's only one unexpected expense. Also, we didn't know, God, you can hear like the congestion coming down. We didn't know until a week before we left for Vietnam that we needed a visa. Let me rephrase. We needed a visa that we had to get before we got here. Y'all, I've been to 22 countries. The only time I've ever needed a visa was in Egypt. And in Egypt, it was visa on arrival. So like, whenever they stamped my passport, they charged me like $7, got my visa on my way. So whenever they mentioned a visa, that's what I was thinking. I didn't realize until a week before that we needed a visa. And I was like, you know what? Fine. We'll just go sign up and get it taken care of, y'all. Do y'all know whenever we got our visas? Like, let me just tell you when we got our visas. We got our flight to Vietnam. We left from Thailand was at 12:20. I think we got our visas at like almost 11. We were in the airport at the check-in counter, and we ended up having to pay, it was a $155 per person. And additional, we already paid $25, so we already paid $50. Remember, it's me and my husband. So he said he is really good about visas. Listen, after this, we will be. So we ended up having to pay, what the hell is $310? We ended up having to pay an additional $360. Should have been $50. An additional $310 to get our visas expedited, because otherwise we were not going to be able to travel to Vietnam. And at that point, it would have cost us so much money to lose money from like flights, accommodation, all of that. So we're already up to like $1,000 in unexpected expenses in like our first month of living abroad. And like I said, that's really just like the tip of the iceberg. There's also been some other things with like flights. There have been a lot of unexpected expenses, but I would say like a lot of these things, they're lessons learned, right? Like, they're now things. I gotta blow my nose again, y'all. Hold on. Okay, so there have been other unexpected expenses that have come up, and like at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, whenever you sign up for travel, you sign up for unexpected shit to happen. Like I recently did a post on that because it's true. Like it just, you do. And so like we don't have any regrets. We are still really happy that we're here. We're still really excited. We're still really grateful. But at the end of the day, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. So like I said, what does travel group pay for? They don't coordinate these things. The travel group remote year, so they provide accommodations and they basically, excuse me, they basically provide like accommodations and like community. That's like the easiest way to think about it. But like all the technicalities, like that's on us. Like they can, like they'll sometimes make recommendations. You know what's funny? The only reason we even got that fucking visa expedited is because of the CEO of this company. That's the only reason we even got our shit in time, because our shit was denied. They didn't like my photo, and then my husband's name, like I think the first name and the middle name were flipped, and like we kept checking and checking, and it just kept saying processing. So we literally, y'all, and this is, I mean, this is the thing about travel, and so we were just like, we're not going to stress about it. We're just going to trust that it's going to work out. And of course they ended up working out. Like it was a miracle that at literally we're literally in the fucking taxi to the airport whenever we find out that this person can get our visa expedited. And like I said, this is the shit that a lot of travel influencers don't talk about. Travel is amazing. And obviously I always recommend people do it, but like, listen, it's not for the faint-hearted. And if you're only doing the shit like cruises and resorts, like, and then I've done several. I think I've done 6 or 7 cruises. And I think probably 3. I'm not a huge resort person, but that's another conversation. Says the person going to a resort in Bali next weekend. But anyway, at this point in my life, I could use a fucking resort. But yeah, there's a lot of things that come with travel. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Absolutely not. Everybody should travel. I mean, travel is, like I said, I'll do a whole other series on just like how travel truly does just change you as a person. Like it's an amazing thing, and like the world would be a better place if everyone traveled. Like you just get a different perspective on life. You just have a lot more empathy, a lot more patience and kindness for people, and I think it is extremely important. But like everything else, it does come with disadvantages. So yeah, so those are some of the challenges that we have had while living abroad. If, like I said, thank y'all again for the likes, double tapping. I really appreciate that. Make sure you follow me if you want more updates on moving abroad, living abroad. We're in Vietnam until next Saturday, and then we head to Bali, and then we head to Thailand, and then we head to Japan, and we have no idea where we're going after that. So that's kind of a big question mark for us. But let me know what questions y'all have. You can drop any comments on any of my, make sure you record in Bali. I want to move there next year. Yes, Tamara. Is it Tamara or Tamara? There's a group called the Black in Bali. Actually, it's just called Black in Bali. There's an expat group there. I don't know if you're in that, but I joined it recently because sometimes I do events. So we are actually hoping to connect with some Black expats while we are there. So second one, okay. I know a Tamara, a Tamara, and a Tamara. Like it's crazy. I definitely want to travel to Bali. Rhonda, do it. We wanted to spend more time in Bali, but it just didn't work out that way. And because I prefer to spend more time in Thailand, we said, listen, if you really love Bali, we'll come, but we're still going to do like 5-6 days. But if we love Bali, obviously we can decide to go back. In Bali and Thailand are both super affordable places in Asia. Japan, that's a whole other conversation, but we're not there yet. So anyway, make sure I hit that follow button if you haven't already. The long flights are a little scary. I feel you. I personally am like a layover person. I know somebody who's already did like a 18-hour flight, and I was like, an 18-hour flight, that shit, I mean, it would have to be first class, like first, because ain't no way in hell I'm doing economy. The longest I've done is 10.5, and even now I'm at the point where it's like, y'all, I'm finessing my travel shit so that I can get business class flights for economy prices, which is completely possible if you know how to finesse, because we're not doing that. My nephew in Japan now is expensive. Yeah, it is. We were actually recently looking at prices, and we were like, are we going to stay here for a month, or are we going to stay here for 2 weeks? Because if you are leaving the U.S. to like not be spending, so much money, like but we're still going to go to Japan regardless. And we are really excited about it. We're just going to obviously think about how we can keep it budget friendly. Ain't no way I'm flying that long. I'm scared of a 2-hour flight. What? A 2-hour? Girl, if you're going to Bali, you gonna be taking much longer than 2-hour flights. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it took us 3 days to get from Brazil to here. So we literally went from Brazil to Spain to Abu Dhabi to Thailand. And there are some people who who might be like, I couldn't do that. I would much rather just do like a 20-hour flight or whatever. Like I said, that's personally not me. Like, I cannot sit for that long. Like I said, I think it is a little bit different if you're flying business class or first class because you can get actual rest. Sleeping on a plane has never been challenging for me, but I swear, I don't know, for some reason, these last few flights, like sleep, I have not really been able to sleep for more than an hour until I got to a point where I was literally so sleep deprived that I did. So, did 12 hours to Hawaii. I would love to go to Hawaii. Oh, 12. I don't know. I think 10 and a half is my limit. I don't think I could do more than 10 and a half hours, but I'm humble. We will see. We will see what happens. But anyways, it's like 2:30 now, and like all I've literally done today is like wake up, check my inbox, and go live. So me and my husband are gonna go get some food. Maybe I'll go live again if we go somewhere cool. So just, again, like just follow me. Like I'll be popping up on live. Hawaii is worth it. I hear really amazing things about Hawaii, but right now they're over tourist, so they actually don't want people coming there, or they were the last time I checked. I don't know if that's still the case. But hit that follow button if you haven't already. Let me know what questions y'all have. I'm scared of the pilot going to fall asleep. Girl, I don't have the pilot. Most of the time the air is in the plane. It's on autopilot. The pilot ain't doing shit anyway. The pilot is doing the most work during takeoff and landing. Like, when we're in the air, that plane is on autopilot. He not doing nothing anyway. Gotta face that fear, girl, if you want to see the world. I feel it, though. Sometimes, I don't hate flying. There are some people who like love flying. I feel like I'm not either. I feel like I don't love to fly, but it's like I love to travel. So like I'm going to fly, like, right? Like I'm gonna get there. Like, how the hell else am I gonna get there? Thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. Like I have to fly. But my husband, I don't know, he claimed he likes long flights, and I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll see. For me, I personally would rather do a layover. Also, I feel like sometimes with layovers, that's a really great opportunity to oh, thank you for the rose. For another rose, I appreciate it. Military mommy, thank you. It is just lost my train of thought. This keeps happening to me. Oh yeah, layovers can be another opportunity to see another country. So we had never been to Spain, and we spent 10 hours in Spain. Like, whenever we flew from Brazil, we're in Vietnam now, but we had a 10 hour layover in Spain. So we did a tuk-tuk tour where we got to see Madrid a little bit, and then we went to a flamenco show. So flamenco is like a very like cultural type of like dance and like the Spanish culture, and it was really cool. Would I go back? Maybe. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of over Europe right now. If you're European and you're joining, sorry, no shade. I would still love to go to Portugal. Afro Nation is happening in Portugal in June, and we're thinking about doing that. And then I do have 2 really good friends in Germany, so we might end up meeting up later. Oh, I need to check in with her on that. Are we supposed to be? I'm supposed to be going to Greece in August. I have not heard anything about that. I need to follow up with her. So I might be in Greece in August for someone else's birthday, but this year is definitely more Asia, Africa, LATAM. I'm always LATAM focused. I'm like biased because I love Latin America. I am literally in Vietnam, and I'm so excited to go back to Mexico. Like, Mexico is just got on somebody else's live. She said Singapore is beautiful. I have not been to Singapore. Speaking of layovers, I have so congested, y'all. Sorry. Speaking of layovers, back to the conversation I was having before I ended up going off on a whole other tangent. I tried to do a layover in Singapore, and I could not make it work. I hear Singapore is beautiful. I also hear like it's really small, and you can honestly see it in like 1 to 3 days. So I do think that before we leave Asia, we might try to hit Singapore, because y'all, Asia is so far. Remember earlier when I said you have that mindset of like FOMO versus JOMO. JOMO is the joy of missing out, right? So that balance between, you cannot see it all. Like, you're never going to be able to see it all. And the other part of me is like, but we in Asia, so we need to try to see it all. So somebody else was like, you should go to Cambodia. And I'm like, because they have like one of the wonders of the world as far as like temples. And so I'm like, maybe we'll do a day trip to Cambodia. And then Singapore, I would love to see Singapore. Singapore is expensive as hell. When we were going to attempt a layover there, I could not find a hotel for less than like $300 a night. And I was like, ain't no fucking way I'm paying that. So, ain't no fucking way we paying it, me and my husband. So, I would love to see Singapore. I think I will try to finesse to see if I can see it while I'm here. We want to see the Maldives. I feel like, y'all, I think a flight to the Maldives from did we look? I don't know if we looked. I think we looked from Thailand. It was like $200. I'm like, obviously we need to do this. And the Maldives is obviously, it looks like really beautiful. I don't need to be there for like a week. Don't get me wrong, like I love a beach, but also like I know the Maldives is like super touristy, so they're gonna be charging those high ass American prices. The apartment we're in right now in Vietnam, y'all, 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom. We paid less than $800 for the entire month. Please let that sink in. 26 days, we paid less than $800. Now, that was not the price listed, but that's the price we paid. Remember I told y'all that budget travel masterclass where I talked about how to like travel for the low. Wait, where? Here in Vietnam. Vietnam is a super, super budget friendly travel destination. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, if y'all want to know how to travel on a budget, tap into my budget travel masterclass. It's like, y'all, it's only like $14. And I have a lot of budget travel tips on my page as well. Y'all can always scroll and whatever, but if you just want to have like everything in one place, I highly recommend it. So I'm not gonna lie, being here in Vietnam, eating meals for like $2. We've been here for a whole month. We paid less than $800 for this apartment, and we looking at these prices at other places, and we're like, what? I think for Bali, we did March 30th, and we're checking out April 4th, 30th, 31st, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess it's 6 nights that we're doing in Bali, and I think we paid $600. Y'all, that's not expensive, but literally compared to like what we paid here, we're like, damn. But it is what it is, right? Like, that's travel. Some places you go are less expensive than others. It just kind of is what it is. But yeah, like, never paid full price on Airbnb or Vrbo. Like, me and my kids will be balling. That's why a lot of people take their families and go to like Bali and Thailand. Like, there really are a lot of black expats there. I'm super excited to hang out with some black expats. We hung out with one black expat in Brazil. We had a ball. He also said it's cheap to fly different places from Vietnam. Honey, our flight to Bali, before we added our bags, was like less than $200 per person. I think we paid $450 for both of us to fly. For like our flight to Bali next weekend, we are paying $450 for both of us. Like, people be talking about how like when you get to Europe, it's really easy to travel for cheap. No, the hell it ain't. I was in Europe last year, and I paid for a one-way ticket from Germany to the Netherlands, Amsterdam. How much was it? It was like $250. I was like, what the fuck? Now, before the pandemic, obviously, a lot of things were cheaper. So I do hear a lot of people say that like after the pandemic, it's just been like horrible, like flight prices in Europe. But here, yeah, in Vietnam, like hopping from country to country, yeah, like especially if you can finesse it, like I said, I give these budget travel tips in my webinar and also on my page, like especially if you can finesse it and you like look ahead of time and you figure out, is my phone dying? Probably. And you figure out what is TikTok talking about? I gotta verify to continue my live. Like, I'm just standing here, I'm literally talking. We have detected inactivity. Sometimes TikTok make you want to box them. How have you detected inactivity and I've been up here talking this whole time? Anyways, train of thought, gone. But yeah, you can travel from country to country. Oh, yes, what I was saying. I was saying that if you know how to like look ahead for dates, you can go to other countries for less than $100. I think we were looking at a flight to Cambodia from here that was like less than $100. So yeah, you just got to know how to finesse it. Like, and I do feel grateful because like now that I've been to 22 countries, I do have more of that experience, but it wasn't always this way. And I'm still learning, y'all. There's some travel hacks that I've learned in the last couple of weeks that I cannot wait to implement and tell y'all about, but we got to get there. Anywho, like I've been saying goodbye on this live for like 15 minutes now, but I love it. And I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the hearts. I appreciate the love, y'all. If you've been on my live before, you know I've talked about how like I'm not new to digital marketing, but like I am new to more so like being like a content creator. I feel like I have so much imposter syndrome still even calling myself a content creator, but I'm like, Bianca, you got to embrace it, right? If you want to be on here as a content creator, then, you know, that's what you got to call yourself. So I'm definitely still new, especially to like going live this often and talking about travel. Like most of the stuff I've talked about is like, it's not travel, but I love traveling and I love talking about it. And it's been so cool going live and meeting so many of y'all and talking to y'all and like actually having y'all respond to me. I'm telling you, TikTok over Instagram all day. I shouldn't even say that word because they go be like, we ain't let nobody else join this live. TikTok over IG all day, okay? But anyway, thank y'all again for joining. Stay tuned. I'm going to have so much more stuff coming. Let me know what questions y'all have about living abroad. Let me know what questions y'all have about travel. I'm happy to like reply to your comments with a video, etc. Thank y'all again for the love, and I will catch y'all next time.